Hello students. So today our next topic is periodic trends in properties of elements. So what's the trend behind the periodic table? The property which are directly or indirectly related to their electronic configuration and show regular gradation moving from left to right in a period or from top to bottom are called periodic properties. Means regular gradation, or you can say on the basis of electronic configuration from left to right either or from top to bottom. Periodicity, the repetition of similar properties after regular interval are called periodicity. So, trends in physical properties. First one is the atomic radius. So, basic definition is the distance from the center of nucleus to the outermost shell containing the electron. From center to the outermost shell is known as atomic radius. This is the basic definition. However, the size of an atom depends upon the type of atom in its neighborhood and also the nature of bonding present between them. That's how it is explained that depending on the size of atom and the types of atom also matter which type of bonding present between them. As a result, the size of atom may be different in different compound. Means size of atom is something on the basis of nature of bonding. Which type of bonding is there? It depends on. Based on the types of bonding present there are 4 types of atomic radii. On the basis of the types of bonding, there are 4 types of atomic radii from which it is calculated. First one is covalent radius. So what's the covalent radius? It is defined as the half of the distance between the center of nuclei of 2 similar atoms bonded by single covalent bond that is present between 2 non-metal of electron. Means covalent radius is calculated by measuring the distance from center of 2 similar atoms surrounded by single covalent bond present between them. So from this center to that center which have same size of atom, and this is what covalent radius between 2 similar atoms. So we can say that R covalent is equal to half of the bond length. Means half of the bond length. And you can see that R covalent is equal to half of the bond length. This is bond length and it is R covalent is equal to half. And we can also denote by R covalent is equal to D A minus A upon 2 because both the radii are same. So we can number as A, capital A, or any other you can take. So this is what covalent radius. Now next in atomic radius is van der Waals radius. So what's the van der Waals radius is? Van der Waals radius of an atom is the radius of an imaginary hard sphere representing the distance of closest approach from another atom, that is determined from the contact distance between unbonded atom in touching molecule or atom. Means in noble gas, van der Waals radius is taken as half of the internuclear separation between 2 adjacent isolated atoms at the time of their closest approach. As you know that noble gas does not form bond as it has a stable configuration, because it has octet is completed, so there is no formation of bond. As you know that many noble gas do not form, many, or you can say all noble gas do not form bond because of completion of its octet due to its nature. How it is calculated? By van der Waals radius. By taking half of the internuclear separation between two adjacent isolated atoms at the time of their closest approach. So this is how van der Waals radius is calculated in case of noble gas. Because in van der Waals you can take imaginary hard sphere. Now next is the, in atomic radius is ionic radius. So what's the ionic radius? Ionic radius is the radius of an atom forming an ionic bond. As the name implies, ionic means this bond is present between the ions. So radius of atom forming ionic bond or ion, the atomic bond restricts the electron and nucleus, and due to its the ion or atom does not have fixed shape, because ion have electron and nucleus present between them due to its property of ion, and it does not have fixed shape. Why? Because it has property to form ion with other atom. For example, in NaCl is an example of ionic bond formed by transference of electron, also known as electrovalent bond. So in NaCl is example of ionic bond Na positive and Cl minus, which is formed by transference of electron, and bond is present is electrovalent bond is there. So we can represent anion by this X minus and cation by Y positive. How anion is formed? By accepting electron. And how cation is formed? By releasing electron. It become positive charge, and by gaining it become negative charge. So the radii would be different because of their different nuclear charge. The cation have greater positive charge, will have smaller radius. You should note it down that if cation have more number of positive charge, smaller radius is there. Why? Because cation is formed by releasing electron. More the electron release, more the positive charge is there, and loss of electron leads to smaller radius because of greater attraction towards the nucleus. And in case of anion, it is just opposite, formed by acceptance of electron with greater negative charge. Will means more electron is added and have larger radius due to internuclear distance increases because of electron increases. So these are the basic concept you should remember. Now next is the metallic radius. So what is the metallic radius? Metallic radius is the radius of an atom, as the name implies. Metallic means bond formed between the metallic bond. So radius of atom joined by metallic bond, half of the radius of total distance between the nuclei of two adjacent atom in metallic cluster. Half of the radius of total distance between the adjacent atom in metallic cluster, known as metallic radius. So this is the metallic radius that is present between two adjacent metal atom, and half of the internuclear distance between two metal atom. Now, one question arises out of these which have more radius. So, as you know that covalent radius present between the two atom joined by internuclear distance, that is covalent radius, and metallic radius present between the two metal atom, and in van der Waals radius it is present between the noble gas. So we assume the internuclear distance between the two noble atom. So which have larger radius? Covalent. Covalent has larger radius, then metallic radius, then van der Waals. Van der Waals has small radius due to its property of noble gas. Here bond is not formed, we assume it. And metallic is simply a radius between two adjacent atoms. So covalent is larger than metallic, then van der Waals. It has larger and it has a smaller radius. Now, after atomic radius, our next topic is ionization enthalpy. As what's the ionization enthalpy? The minimum amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron from an isolated gaseous atom is called ionization enthalpy or energy. So ionization enthalpy implies about the energy required to remove the loosely bound electron from isolated gaseous atom is called ionization energy. Means how much energy is needed to remove outermost electron. So the first ionization enthalpy for an element X is the enthalpy change for the reaction. Here we take X gas. After removing electron, it become X positive and 1 electron. Now how ionization energy is expressed? It is expressed in unit kilojoule per mole. And we define the second ionization enthalpy as the energy required to remove the second electron. Means second most loosely bound electron. So if first electron is removed, then again if second electron is removed, it become X2 positive and electron. Now energy is always required to remove an electron from an atom, and hence ionization energy is always positive. Means energy is released. The second ionization enthalpy will be higher than the first ionization enthalpy because second electron is more tightly bound electron than first electron. So that's the reason first ionization enthalpy is smaller than second ionization enthalpy because it is more difficult to remove an electron from positively charged ion than from neutral ion. In the same way, third ionization enthalpy is higher than the second and so on. So we can write that first ionization enthalpy smaller from second ionization enthalpy than third ionization enthalpy. So third ionization enthalpy is more higher than second than first. Now the ionization energy depend upon the various factor. In addition, you will notice two trend that first ionization enthalpy increases as we go across period and decreases as we descend in group. Means across period ionization enthalpy increases and down the group ionization enthalpy decreases. Why? Factor depend upon the size of atom. Ionization enthalpy decreases with increase in atomic size. When size of an atom and nuclear charge increases simultaneously, the size of atom dominates the effect of increase in magnitude of nuclear charge. As a result, generally decreases down the group. Next is the magnitude of nuclear charge. Before we discuss, first we tell about the ionization enthalpy depend on size of atom. Means more the size of atom, ionization enthalpy increases due to its increase in the nuclear charge. More size have more nuclear charge, so it is difficult to remove the loosely bound electron. So that's the fundamental, that more the size, more will be the ionization enthalpy. Now next is the magnitude of nuclear charge. As discussed, nuclear charge increases the force of attraction between nucleus and valence electron. That's why more energy is required to remove valence electron. Hence, ionization energy increases with increase in nuclear charge. Means more the nuclear charge, more will be ionization energy due to energy needed to remove outermost valence electron, as their force of attraction will be larger. Now next factor is screening effect of inner electron. The shell between the nucleus and valence electron reduce the force of attraction between nucleus and valence electron. The reduction in force of attraction by shell present between the nucleus valence electron is called screening or shielding effect. Means it will reduce the effect of the force of attraction between outermost valence electron to the nucleus. That's called what? Shielding effect. You will learn this. What's the shielding effect and what are the factor? Means shielding effect also decides the ionization enthalpy of the atom. Means more will be shielding effect, less will be the ionization energy. You can write it like this: shielding effect increases, ionization energy decreases. Now shielding effect, screening effect of orbital is in the order S. S orbital is larger than P orbital, then D, then F. In general, shielding is effective when orbital in inner shell are completely filled. Now next is the penetration effect of electron in ionization energy. So S orbital penetrate more closer to nucleus as compared to P orbital. Thus electron in S orbital are more tightly held by nucleus than electron in P orbital. Obviously S orbital are more tightly and become more closer to nucleus and p orbital have then p orbital. So penetration effect of electron is s orbital has more tightly electron attached to the nucleus than p orbital. Now last is the electronic configuration. How electronic configuration affect ionization energy. So atom has inert gas configuration or atom has fully filled or exactly filled half orbitals. So two cases there. Now element with stable configuration have high first value of ionization enthalpy. Means stable configuration have high value of ionization enthalpy due to more tightly held electron to the nucleus. Thus across the period, now what's the trend? Across the period, increasing nuclear charge outweigh the shielding. Consequently, outermost electron are held more and more tightly. So ionization enthalpy increases across the period. So this is the trend across the period, means this horizontal ionization enthalpy increases and down the group ionization enthalpy decreases, means here is most and then decreases. That's what it is saying. Ionization enthalpy increases across the period and as we go down the group ionization enthalpy decreases. As we go down the group, outermost electron being increasingly farther than the nucleus. So there will be what? Shielding effect is there. So less force of attraction is there due to increased shielding effect of electron. Ionization enthalpy decreases, as you have read previously that shielding effect increases, ionization enthalpy decreases. So this is the trend of ionization enthalpy and upon which factor ionization enthalpy depends. Now next is the electron gain enthalpy. So what's the electron gain enthalpy? When an electron is added to neutral gaseous atom to convert it into negative ion. Obviously, if electron is added to neutral gaseous atom, it convert into negative ion. The enthalpy change during the process is called electron gain enthalpy, represented by delta EgH. Means electron added to neutral gaseous atom to convert into negative ion. So what's the enthalpy change during the process is called electron gain enthalpy. It provides a measure of ease with which an atom add an electron to form an ion, represented as like this. Electron added to neutral atom form negative charge. And what's the electron gain enthalpy change during the process? Depending on the element, which type of element is there, the process of adding an electron to an atom can be either endothermic or exothermic. Endothermic means heat is absorbed and exothermic means heat is released. For many elements, energy is released when electron is added to atom. In many cases, Energy is released when electron is added to atom. So electron gain enthalpy is negative. In case of ionization energy, electron is released. So ionization energy is positive due to electron release. And here electron is added, so it is negative. Or you can learn by this sign convention. If electron is added to neutral atom, then negative charge is there, and if electron is released, then it will become positive charge. So this is the sign convention in case of ionization energy or electron gain enthalpy. Group 17 element have very high negative electron gain enthalpy because they attain stable gas electronic configuration by picking up an electron. Group 17 element have high electron gain enthalpy because they want to complete its octet or to attain stable noble gas configuration. So electron gain enthalpy is high. As a general rule, electron gain enthalpies become more negative with increase in atomic number, as it depends upon various factors. Now, in this case, electron gain enthalpy also depend upon the various factor. Size of an atom. Smaller the size, stronger the attraction toward nucleus. So, greater will be the electron gain enthalpy. If size is smaller, then greater will be electron gain enthalpy. Due to more energy is needed to add to its electron, and attraction toward nucleus is larger. So more energy is needed to add to an electron which have a stronger force of attraction. Next is the magnitude of nuclear charge. Greater the magnitude of nuclear charge, stronger is the attraction of nucleus towards the electron added. Means more the nuclear charge, more will be the attraction towards the nucleus. So more will be the electron gain enthalpy due to stronger force of attraction. Weak force of attraction is there, electron gain enthalpy will be smaller due to easily add to the electron towards the nucleus. Next factor is electronic. Third one is electronic configuration. How electron gain enthalpy is related. An atom with stable configuration has no tendency to gain electron. Such element have zero electron gain enthalpy, as there will be no electron is added towards the atom. As electron gain enthalpy become more negative with increase in atomic number. Across a period, the effective nuclear charge increases from left to right across the period. Nuclear charge increases from left to right across period. So there will be shielding effect and force of attraction will be less. So it will be easier to add electron to the smaller atom which have nuclear charge larger. Also, electron gain enthalpy become less negative as we go down a group because size of atom increases and added electron would be farther from nucleus. As we go down a group, size of atom increases. Size of atom increases and electron added to the nucleus would be farther from nucleus. So electron gain enthalpy decreases down the group. Enthalpy increases In short, you will learn like this. Electron gain enthalpy increases across the period due to increase in atomic number. As atomic number increases, increase in nuclear charge increases, shielding effect is there, and due to shielding effect, electron can be easily added to the atom. So electron gain enthalpy increases across the period due to increase in atomic number and decreases down the group due to increase in the atomic size. Here no nuclear charge increases, only atomic size is increases. Means size increases, nucleus and outermost electron become farther from each other, so it will be in short, you will learn like this. Electron gain enthalpy increases across the period due to increase in the atomic number, because the size of the atom decreases and force of attraction, nuclear charge increases, and due to this the size of atom decreases and incoming electron will experience more attraction, and so electron gain enthalpy become more negative due to adding of electron to an atom which have less force of attraction is there. More force of attraction is there. And in second case, down the group electron gain enthalpy decreases due to increase in atomic size. Here force of attraction is more, so incoming electron experience less force of attraction to the atom due to larger atomic size, and electron gain enthalpy become less negative as electron experience less force of attraction towards the nucleus. As electron gain enthalpy depend upon the force of attraction due to which electron is added towards the nucleus. So it is depend upon the force of attraction with which nucleus and electron is already held. If there is more force of attraction, incoming electron experience more force towards the nucleus, so electron gain enthalpy increases, more energy is released. And if force of attraction between the nucleus and electron is increases, then incoming electron experience less force of attraction and the energy released is less due to less force of attraction is there. Hope the video clear the concept about the periodic trends. And again, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section, and please revise it thoroughly so that your concept become clear. And if you have any doubt, you can ask further. Hope the video is useful to you. Do like and share with your friends, and thank you for watching. More force of attraction is there. And in second case, down the group electron gain enthalpy decreases due to increase in atomic size. Here force of attraction is more, so incoming electron experience less force of attraction to the atom due to larger atomic size, and electron gain enthalpy become less negative as electron experience less force of attraction towards the nucleus. As electron gain enthalpy depend upon the force of attraction due to which electron is added towards the nucleus. So it is depend upon the force of attraction with which nucleus and electron is already held. If there is more force of attraction, incoming electron experience more force towards the nucleus, so electron gain enthalpy increases, more energy is released. And if force of attraction between the nucleus and electron is increases, then incoming electron experience less force of attraction and the energy released is less due to less force of attraction is there. Hope the video clear the concept about the periodic trends. And again, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section, and please revise it thoroughly so that your concept become clear. And if you have any doubt, you can ask further. Hope the video is useful to you. Do like and share with your friends, and thank you for watching.